Milton threw for 80 passes, over 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in his 5 appearances with the Wolverines. Beat out Virginia Tech transfer Hendon Hooker and Harrison Bailey for the starting job. And at SMU, the wait is over. Tanner Mordecai going to be the guy. The Oklahoma transfer officially named the Week 1 starter against Abilene Christian this week. Been a quarterback battle all offseason. Mordecai, though, says he is comfortable with this offense and feeling confident. As we get ready for Week 1 of college football, you take a look at our Thursday night slate. Going to be some great games to start things off. One of those teams on there, Coastal Carolina, ranked in the top 25 in the preseason polls. They surprised some teams last year, really had a breakout season. So that got us thinking as we get ready for another year, who else might continue their breakout campaign that we saw from last year to be able to build on that. And we'll talk Coastal Carolina in a second. But Harry, let's talk first about Cincinnati. We liked what we saw from them last year. What do you expect this season?
I think we're going to see a lot of good stuff out of them this year as well. Listen, they have a great quarterback in Desmond Ridder who improved a lot as the year went along in 2020. It was almost kind of freaky to watch, honestly. And they still have a great defense. Now they lost defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman to Notre Dame, but I think that we're still going to see that tenacity out of them that we did last year where they're going to give people fits. And they have Indiana and Notre Dame on the schedule with a bye in between. I think that they could have a big year this year.
Well, for me in Northwestern, I think you're going to see a slight dip. Just 4 starters back on both sides of the football, and Hunter Johnson cannot play the way that he played a couple of years back after transferring in from Clemson. I think they're going to have a lot more help, but I see them taking a bit of a dip.
And Luke's, I got Iowa State here as well. I think they're going to have another good year. I think their biggest obstacle is going to come again with Oklahoma. They split those games last year. They get them again in late November. If they're able to overcome that obstacle, they got 2 Heisman contenders in Breece Hall and Brock Purdy. I think they're going to have another big year.
Well, for me, BYU, and having seen them firsthand a year ago, man, you're replacing a legend at quarterback with a freshman. And I think this is going to be a bit of a retooled defense. You don't have as many experienced starts. I like their defensive front. Offensive coordinator moves on to Baylor. Too many changes in Provo for them to duplicate the season they had a year ago.
And hey, what about the fighting Hoosiers, right? Up in Indiana, Tom Allen, right? I mean, this team, they've got Michael Penix Jr. back. He's healthy. He had that Superman play against Penn State last year. I think we're going to see another great defense out of them. They feel like they should have been the Big Ten East winners last year. They're going to try to prove that again this year. They've got some schedule stuff going on, but I think it's going to be another big year in Bloomington.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, Coastal Carolina, they're going to have to live up to massive expectations. I think they're talented enough to duplicate the season they had a year ago. But for the first time in program history, guess what? Everybody's patting them on the back, telling them how great they are. They're going to have one of the most studied off-season offenses of this past off-season ever. The offense is so fun if you haven't watched them. They've got their quarterback back. They got to play at Arkansas State, at App State on back-to-back weeks. So the one thing about Coastal is they're talented enough, but they're not sneaking up on anybody this time around.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.